Welcome, it's denome. So today is the Friday 13th September 2024, and despite it being the Friday 13th, supposedly a bad luck date, let's take a look at where we think the price will go next, and let's see what is the condition of the crypto market in basically as a whole. And to do that, we're going to take a look at fundamentals, we're going to take a look at the recent news, and I think I have a solid price prediction for you guys at the end of the video. And if you have been following me this week, I gave you basically two levels where it's likely that Bitcoin will have a bounce back. This level here, 55,600, as well as here, roughly 54,200. But the price was only able to go to the first level here, and from there we had a 5% move to the upside, which is quite nice so far. And now when we take a look at the recent news, I think the biggest news affecting crypto is Coinbase has now launched a CBBTC, which is similar to wrapped Bitcoin, but because wrapped Bitcoin is now being attached to just-in-Sun, some protocols are not happy with it, and Coinbase is exploiting this situation. So we have a new protocol here, and there's a small problem here with the CBBTC that I do have to talk about, and I have to agree with Justin-Sun, who is now shitting on the CBBTC protocol, basically saying that there's lack of proof of reserves, no audits. That's not the problem I have. I think these will be fixed over time, but what I do have a problem is that with CBBTC, that asset can be frozen at any given moment, as long as United States government makes a subpoena to basically seize the Bitcoin of any address on the planet. So it's basically a centralized version of Bitcoin, which is running on smart chains. You can use it for DeFi. I do expect this protocol to gain a lot of popularity from those regulated entities, but for regular crypto people who don't want to really get involved with having your assets being able to be frozen, I don't think this is an asset that people want to choose. But it is another version of Bitcoin, and overall I think it's good for the industry, as long as not too many people just hop in on that one particular protocol, because when one protocol takes over every other protocol, that is usually bad for decentralization. So all in all, we do have that now, and it was already adopted by a few projects like Aave, Sky Protocol, and Maple, Deepbridge, Aerodrome, and Curve. Yeah, those were the platforms that have adopted the CBBTC so far. Next up, we do have an update here with the World Liberty Fi. So September 16th, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Donald Trump will release the World Liberty Financial. And I already made a post about this on X, basically saying that, all right, let's hope for the best and embrace for the cringe. So that's basically what I'm expecting, is a very cringe-worthy project, but let's see how it goes. I think it's gonna be an interesting time. So on my Monday's update, I will not be able to have this reveal yet. So maybe I'll make a video about this on Tuesday when the project has launched. So we have all the details about the project. But all in all, this is now coming, and I don't know. I think it's funny, at least. Let me know in the comments if you are hyped about it or if you're expecting something horrible from it. But really no other major news from the crypto sphere. We did get a new XRP trust, which was launched, and XRP price went up, but nothing too major on the news that I saw. When we take a look at fundamentals, though, here's something interesting. So when we take a look at old money, you can see old money, which has held Bitcoin for more than 3 years, is not ready to sell at these prices again. We did see wallets which were holding Bitcoin for 1 to 3 years, basically panic selling this bottom here. But now as the price has went up, no real selling is occurring, which is very, very good. And also when we take a look at the supply held by miners, you can see that miners sold a lot of Bitcoin during this rise here, but now that sell pressure seems to have basically vanished. So hopefully this is in my opinion also a bullish signal for crypto and Bitcoin. For Bitcoin holders, nothing really too interesting here. We did see these mega whales basically accumulating Bitcoin at the bottom, but they already sold and now they're at the same level as before. So I don't know, I'm not really seeing anything too interesting, but they don't want to hold for the long term, which is maybe a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. But I did see something very good here. First thing that I saw, which is very good, is we are seeing more stablecoin printing here on the chart. So this is obviously very good for the potential price increase of crypto assets, as well as when we take a look at the supply held in exchanges, you can see during this dump, right after the dump, we saw an exodus out of centralized exchanges back into private wallets. So this means that there were people who wanted to buy the dip and deposit the money into their private wallets during this dump here. So this is, in my opinion, also bullish for potential price increase in the short term. And by the way, I do have to address the thing that I made a video about yesterday, which was the potential market crash in the stock market in the next 3 to 9 months. But I want to clarify to you guys that that is a long-term bearish scenario. But until that, I think there is still runaway for crypto to go higher. So I'm not bearish in crypto in the short term because of what's going to happen in maybe next 6 months, or it could even be all the way up to 1 year, because even if the trend line is broken on S&P 500, it doesn't mean that the panic is happening immediately. The panic usually happens a little bit later when the acceleration of the bearishness starts to accumulate. So all in all, we have like 6 months to maybe even 1.5 years until we are starting to really see like a major panic, or even 1 year to 18 months maybe. So until that time, we could still have very good times for crypto. So just keep that in the back of your head. But in the midterm, short term, we are kind of still bullish with crypto, or at least I have a bullish bias. Next up, when we take a look at just in the short term, and we take a look at Bitcoin liquidation heat map, you're seeing something very interesting in the last week or so. You are seeing a lot of shorts piling up above our current price point here. And this usually means that the price will navigate towards these prices here. So $58,800, $59,000. I think this is an extremely big magnet here, that where the price basically wants to go towards. And looking at all of the fundamentals that we just looked at, it's in my opinion quite likely that we will go to the upside. Here, even at $60,000, you are seeing a lot of yellow starting to appear in the liquidation heat map here. So what is the liquidation heat map? I made a video about this, but it basically just shows you liquidation levels of people who are leverage trading Bitcoin. And when you see a lot of yellow here on the chart, this is usually where the price will navigate towards. But as you can see below here, basically, let me go a little bit lower so you guys can see it as well. $45,000, you see a lot of yellow here, but this is a little bit outside the range here of the current price action. It may go down here as well, but above here, this is basically where a lot of liquidation levels are in the short term. And as you saw with the on-chain data, it just seems like this would be the likely place where price wants to go next to the upside. So based on this analysis, let's take a look at the chart here. So first thing that I do want to notice is that we're currently basically above this trend line here. So this is still a good area, but I do believe that the price has a potential to basically go a little bit lower back to this trend line here. If it goes here, do not panic. This would be a time to basically long Bitcoin, in my opinion, as long as you have your stop loss below this trend line here. And if that were to happen, $60,000 Bitcoin would basically coincide with this previous top here. So that's quite likely where price will be headed next. I don't know if it will go there before my next market update, which I will probably post on Monday, but this is most likely where the price will be navigating towards. Now don't take my predictions as something as a gospel, but just let's say the likeliest scenario to happen in my opinion. So a likely scenario is like 40% chance in this case. I mean 60% chance in this case, but there's still obviously a chance that we go lower. But this is just my analysis of it. Personally, I'm hoping to actually knock to this high here, but this high based on the liquidation data is basically where we were headed next. Let's see if we start to see an acceleration in the price, like a mania almost. I don't know. It's quite hard to see with the debate performance of Donald Trump. It didn't really matter. All of the people are basically still supporting Kamala, and other people are supporting Trump. So now we're in this no man's zone, basically, where fundamentals matter more than the hype, at least in my opinion. So all in all, that's the update I have for you guys today. There's one more thing I want to show you guys, which is that you could consider this to be a inverse head and shoulders pattern. So let me show you how it looks like. So this would be the first shoulder, and here this would be the head, and here would be the right shoulder. And if this were to be the case, then we are looking at something quite bullish. So if that were to be if this is an inverse head and shoulders, then we might be looking at a potential price of roughly $64,000, which would kind of coincide with this top here. So this is maybe something you could be looking at in the midterm, because we did have that breakout, a fake out back to the downside, and now we're basically hovering above the neckline once again. So if it is a inverse head and shoulders pattern, then 64K would be basically the time to sell crypto and wait for another pullback. But that's basically everything I had for this update video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this analysis for this Friday, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you on the next video. And by the way, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Thanks, and bye bye.